Okay, welcome back. Pump got put on yesterday. It was one of the last jobs I did finish off. I just got to get some hoses for the air filter and a screw for that. That's the air filter. And then that is going to go straight to the airbags as you see them. At the moment I haven't got the money to buy all the little individual bits. In fact, the airbags probably won't get used for a while anyway. I was debating about shooting off to the scrapyard at some point and getting some 24 volt solenoids on a start unit that I could maybe put in line with those pipes, possibly, because I think they will still work on 12 volt, just not as effective. So that's for later. All we're doing over the next couple of days, I'll upload this Friday night, which is tomorrow, which is probably today now, but it's tomorrow for me, and you know, give you the rest of the video I wanted to give you, but I don't want to make that one too long. So I've ground back all the sills. It's not the most tidiest, doors are in the way, so I did the best I could. But what I am going to do next at a later date is get some checker plate, which you can get from B&Q, and I'm going to glue two pieces. So the checker plate on the inside will probably get sanded out to get that checker plate, the alley, as thin as possible, but the exterior will stay as you see it. So that one has been done. It's not the cleverest. I trimmed off those blocks as I said I would. Yeah. Can't see in my camera what we're looking at, but there you go, trimmed off, good to go. You're probably never going to get to use them anyway once the steps go back in, but I needed them at the time to lift the body up, so that's all been done as best. I mean, I couldn't get up there, so we'll see where we end up when the checker plate goes on. If it doesn't line up properly, then I'm afraid we'll have to get the grinder on it again. I'm also going to bedline this area here, because I hit it with a grinder a few times anyway. All of that little area there is going to be bedlined. The wheel arches will be bedlined, front and rear, eventually, as time go by. And that's pretty much that. What else is there? That's it for the moment, really. Okay, my pipe came. I did try to get that on the pump as best as I could, but believe me, it was not easy. In fact, I'd like to cut the other one off and redo that, as I'm out of breath, as you can tell. However, I did do a test run, because on this occasion I decided to. But let me lay this camera down, and you won't see a lot of difference. You've got to look very, very carefully. So let me set this camera up. Right. Yep, you're all recording. Now, I agree that if I was jacking this up in the air, then they do need to go vertical. But that's not what these are for. As I said before, they are for taking an extra load. So when the suspension sinks, I can then jack it back up. And what I'm going to do, I might put the buttons on the back, not in the cab, and I might put a couple of gauges at the back, not in the cab, because switches at the back means I can measure the height as it's pumping it back to regular height. Unless I can find an electronic gauge, I have no idea how to find one of them, but if I can find a gauge, then brilliant, we can do that. I know it's no good me working on precious, because this could be heavy one day, light the other. So if I'm going to do this, I need a level gauge somehow. If you have any ideas on this, I'd be very keen to know if there's some kind of device I can bolt onto the chassis, like a sender unit from a fuel tank kind of thing, you know, something like that, that will give me an idea of my ride height. Now, just so as you know, it wasn't fake. One, and they are independent. There you go. As I said before, they are independent of the pump, because there's two pistons in that pump, and one side does one, the other side does the other. The solenoids are going to get fitted on the bottom on a three-way T-piece, so as I can drain any water out. I'm not at this point planning on a tank, but I'm not going to dismiss it either. But the way I'm going to work this is I might put the buttons at the back, the gauges at the back for the air pressure, somewhere in a little panel somewhere, I don't know, cut a hole out and hide it in there somewhere, you know, in the side of the panel work. And I'll measure the wheel arch as a standard ride height, and then when that gets dumped on, or a trailer gets dumped on, I can then pull it back up to the regular height it needs to be. That's the plan anyway. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. We've just got to reroute that black pipe. It's got to go round and under and then in, because I don't want it on the exhaust. I need the cable tie carefully to the ABS lines. Other than that, yeah, well, I think we're good to go on that one. So checklist number whatever, airbags are done for now anyway. So I just got to put a switch on there for whenever I need them. Whenever that will be, I don't know. I don't need them at the moment, so there's no point really worrying too much about it. That's my attitude. So that is a success. I just don't know at the moment if those brackets that the bags are on the axle are going to be strong enough. I still don't know this at the moment until I actually start using it. The pump might not even be strong enough. Who knows on that? You could see it was starting to struggle, but I think we hit maximum reach on the shock absorbers. That's why it was doing that. So until we get a heavy weight on there, I really don't know how this is all going to perform, hence me saying I might have to put a tank on. Right, moving on to another job. Well, that puts a cat amongst the pigeons. They don't fit that front. The centre circle is way off. Now that normally wouldn't be a problem, but if I need those wheel spacers, the damn wheel spacers are not going to go on either, because none of it will clear any of that. So I mean, they look like they'll clear that bloody brake lever, brake caliper. I don't see why they would hit. They do flare out a little bit. The caliper on the D40 that these came off was a lot bigger. Right, well, I've got to enlarge that hole by 5 mils. 2.5 mil to 3 mil all the way around to gain an overall 5 to 6 mil. Yeah. sure how that's going to happen at the moment. Oh well guys, I can't do anything. I'm now stuck. Absolutely 100% stuck. I mean, I was hoping to get some sandblasting done before the weekend's up, but I ain't got the sand yet. Haven't been able to get a ride to B&Q. I was going to do some wiring, but the front bumper's got to come off because I've got to work all that out. I mean, I could over the weekend, I suppose, try and mount my other compressor that I got. I've got a little bit of space under there, but ideally I wanted it inside the vehicle, not bolted outside the vehicle, because I don't think it will last very long. I mean, you've seen the state of the other compressor in the other video. That was outside the vehicle and it didn't hold out too well, so I don't expect it to do any better. One idea was to cut a hole in the seat here and sink a box and weld it all the way around. But between you and me, I'm sick to teeth of welding. Not surprising really, is it? So, however, I've got to find the chassis number as yet. I have no idea where that is. That's it for this video. It was a short and sweet one. I'll see you next week, I suppose. Hope you have a happy weekend, holiday weekend that we've got coming up in the UK, and happy Easter and all that, and see you Friday next week on another one. Hopefully that next week will be the end. I mean, we're coming to the end. The biggest headache I've got is that. I'm not sure what to do with it at the moment. Well, I do know what I've got to do with it, but I need some fiberglass resin and I haven't got enough. And if I have to repair this, then that'll be another 2 more weeks before I'll be ready to bolt on, because I've got to order the resin and it'll take me a couple of weeks to save up for that. The floor itself, the easiest solution is just cut the whole thing out, put the plastic tub back in temporary with some wood or plywood bolted down. That'll be enough to get it for a ticket. Welding up that area ain't an issue. That'll take me about 10 or 15 minutes. No, it won't. It'll take me a couple of hours to put a decent sized plate around that, and then I've just got to power wash everything, get rid of all the dirt that's clogged up over time, and not pay too much attention to power washing down there, because you know it ain't going to hold. And then we can lower this back on and we can make some fiberglass moulds of the sides and see what we can come up with. I know we can get these wheels on the back with no problem. I know that, I've already done it. But the front ones are the issue. They are mental. See you next week. Latest.